Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session for the 2025 CLIA Global Cruise Line webinar series. We're thrilled to be joining you today with Norwegian Cruise Line to discover why your next cruise should be with NCL and more. My name is Johanna de Guzman. I'm the Manager of Industry Relations for North American Travel Trade Membership here at CLIA. Before we dive into today's presentation, I want to quickly cover a few housekeeping items. Our presentation will run today for approximately 50 to 55 minutes. We encourage you to engage actively by submitting your questions through the webinar's questions module, and we will get to them at the conclusion of the presentation. For those of you who might miss today's live session or want to review the content later, this webinar is being recorded and will be available on CLIA's YouTube channel, CLIA Global. It is my pleasure to introduce your speaker for today, John Chernesky. John serves as the Senior Vice President of North American Sales of Norwegian Cruise Line. John joins the company after a 30-year tenure in the cruise industry. His multifaceted experience in the industry and passion for the trade community is instrumental in his role, as he is dedicated to prioritizing Norwegian's Partners First philosophy, which is the company's long-standing commitment to travel advisors. And with that, take it away, John.
I swear I didn't intentionally mute myself because that's very unlike me. I assume you can hear me and we are good to go. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Well, I don't see you, but hopefully you can see me and hear me. I'm thrilled to be spending some time with you today. I'll try not to take the full hour because I know your time is valuable. But as you know me, I got about 400 slides to get through. So we'll do my very best to fly into it. So with that, I want to start, as I like to with almost every presentation I give, to say thank you. We appreciate what you do, and there's a power in saying thank you and some positive effects. And, for those of you that have followed me and see some of my webinars, I apologize if you've seen some of these slides before, but I think it's a good reminder for some of it. So, they say it takes, I think, 7 times to hear something before you actually listen and learn, which is why, honestly, everything my wife tells me, she only tells me once, and I don't remember any of it. So that's on her. So let's start off by saying, when we talk about the positive effects, this is science-backed, ladies and gentlemen. When you say thank you to someone, it improves your mood and theirs. It's better health all around. Stronger relationships are built because of it. You have increased resilience. You're a little more resilient when you're involved in the thank you business, and it's a better work environment for all. And it's obviously a good positive feedback loop. People like to know they've done something right. And obviously, if they did something wrong, maybe tell them that in a nice way. And it actually helps reduce the risk of mental health issues. Now, I looked on the Google for a seal of approval to validate what I've just told you. Unfortunately, this was all I could find was a seal giving a thumbs up. And so we'll have to take that for what it's worth. But those are the official rules. These are my rules for saying thank you. You have to mean it. It's nice when you mean it. If you just say, oh, thanks, clearly that's not good. Don't do that. Say it to everyone, not just your boss. I do that all the time, by the way. Don't just say it to your boss because you're kissing up. Don't just say it to someone you want something from. And so my recommendation is say it, mean it. Say it often. Did I mention mean it? Yeah, you got to mean it. And make eye contact. You saw my picture there. I wasn't paying attention. I was on my phone here. I'm smiling. I'm looking at somebody, God knows who. But that is my advice on the whole thank you thing. I hope you take that to heart. What you all do matters. As the amazing travel advisor community, truly I believe that we are better people because we travel more, not less, and you deliver that. And so thank you. And what you do not only matters from a person-to-person relationship standpoint, but the data shows it. Dare I suggest you all read the CLIA State of the Cruise Industry report that just came out. But it validates that 79% of cruise travelers say that you all, the travel advisory community, have a meaningful impact on their decision to cruise. So you absolutely have the power in your hands. Speaking of power, I always like to talk about the power of travel. And I've been very blessed in my life to travel a good chunk of this earth, not all of it, but a lot of the places with our boys who are now 18 years old. They've been on 15 cruises. This was last summer on the Prima. I'm sure you've all seen these pictures. We had a wonderful time going out of England up to Norway and Iceland. Highly recommend that trip, by the way. It is spectacular. In 11 days, you go to 5 different countries. You can't beat it. It's wonderful. But we are very lucky as a family to travel. And I love this saying from Anthony Bourdain, who was just an amazing individual. I had a chance to meet him briefly once. He said, travel is not reward for working, it's education for living. So I think that's powerful stuff, powerful words. Speaking of education, for those wondering what's happening with the Chernesky boys, the twin boys, where are they going to college? They are going to the Miami University in Southwest Ohio, in beautiful Oxford, Ohio. Same college that I went to, that my dad went to. He was there on a Navy ROTC scholarship. That's the only reason I had heard of it. There is a reason Miami is named this in Ohio. There is no reason for it to be named in Florida. Little history there. Google that if you want. But my boys are starting college in August. We were just there last week for their orientation, and we are thrilled that they are going to school. It's a great school, great campus, great business school. So this is a picture from their high school graduation. And because I forgot to save for college, I have started a GoFundMe page. So if you could maybe just scan that QR code and just contribute. All right, we're having some fun with you here. This is actually, it's true, I need to pay for college, but it is not true. This is a GoFundMe for their college. It's actually a QR code to our NCL Connect program, which is an amazing system. And it's all about co-branding. So while you're at it, feel free to co-brand. If you haven't taken advantage of NCL Connect, it's basically taking our powerful ncl.com website, stripping out all leads to us and all back to you. And it's a really simple system. It's a great tool to get your foot in the door with either existing or prospective clients. So please do take advantage of it. We love the software and the functionality of it. So with that, let's move right into, hopefully you came here today to learn how to build your business with NCL. If you're selling a lot of us, we appreciate it and we hope you can sell more. If you're new to the industry, and you're looking to attach yourself to a brand, because my one tip, my one advice for those of you that are new is don't try and be everything to everyone, in the sense that I want to sell ultra luxury, I want to sell river, I want to sell contemporary, I want to sell premium, I want to sell land. Over time, you can build that expertise, but it takes a lot of time to become an expert at it. So find your lane, come up with a few brands that really work for you. We hope NCL is the brand for you. But anyway, thanks for taking time to build your business. I like to ask this question because I think there's some confusion out there for a good reason. What cruise segment is NCL in? So there's some options. Are we contemporary? Are we premium? Are we luxury? And are we river, or what are we? Now, if you think we're river, you might be in the wrong industry. You may not want to be a travel advisor. I'm kidding, of course. But we're definitely not river. But I will say this. This is one word that I've coined, and it's all on me, and it will one day get me fired because it's not the official segment that we believe NCL is in. But I believe we are contemporary premium luxury. And that is all one word, contemporary premium luxury. And why do I say that? Well, let me give you a couple examples. If you happen to be sailing in an inside cabin on the Norwegian Dawn, and you're going on a 3-day trip to the Bahamas, that's a contemporary product, and we're proud of it. If you're sailing on the Encore on a balcony up to Alaska and you're calling into Glacier Bay, I took that picture, by the way, of Glacier Bay, Marjorie Glacier, that's absolutely a premium experience. If you are sailing in the Haven and you are in Norway or Iceland, and these are, by the way, 3 pictures I took from last summer, that is absolutely a luxury experience. And so that's why I say we are contemporary premium luxury. So have that in your mind as we go through the presentation. And by the way, I'm going to keep you on your toes today. Not that I can see your answers or hear your answers. I know there's a bunch of comments. We'll try to get some questions at the end if I ever shut up talking. But I'm going to have a lot of true or falses for you today. So pencils, sharpen your pencils, get them out. We are ready to rock. True or false? NCL has the best ship within a ship concept. I just mentioned the Haven, and if you think that's true, you are correct. We keep winning awards on this. It is the real deal. Available on 15 ships. It is a spectacular luxury experience for your clients with a little bit extra cash. I'm talking, for those of you that don't know, on some ships, private elevators, private dining rooms on all of them, private bars, private lounges, private deck space. I mean, you just feel special. You have the full access to the whole ship, but your little oasis of the Haven is all yours. And the service there with the concierge staff, the butler, cannot be beat. So if you have clients that are looking for a luxury experience, and maybe it's a multi-gen trip, I like to think the Haven is the best for them. All right, another question for you. How can you save your clients 75%? Oh my goodness, my clients like to save money. They're smart people. How do you do that? Well, I'm just a shameless plug here. Going to talk about More at Sea very briefly. And this is our bundled package, which is everything from the unlimited open bar, the special with premium beverages, by the way, specialty dining, the Wi-Fi, the Shorts credit, even in many cases free third and fourth berth, and then the BOGO Air for those clients that want to take advantage of it. Anyway, if you were to buy the dining, the drinks, the shore excursions, the Wi-Fi, etc., when you got on board without any package versus the More at Sea truly saves 75% off. Let me ask you another question. How can you ensure your clients have a significantly better cruise experience? We track all our ratings, or what we call our guest satisfaction scores, and from every element of the shipboard experience. And we have a rating that is the overall satisfaction. And what we see is that guests who actually take advantage of More at Sea have a significantly better cruise experience than those who don't. So if they don't buy it, not only are they not saving 75%, but they're not getting a better value for their cruise experience. So the data shows that. I'm not making this up. Trust me on this one. More at Sea gives a better cruise experience. All right, another true or false. NCL does not have any new ships. You all know that is false. We just delivered the Aqua. The Norwegian Luna, her sister ship, is coming out next spring. We can't wait. But let me talk a little bit about the Aqua, if you don't mind. Beautiful ship. And we just had her christening ceremony in Miami. This was my view of the christening ceremony. A lot of bald heads in this photograph. Now, however, I will say this. I actually had a better view because I was brought up on stage. I got to present during the ceremony. I think it's the first time a cruise line sales quote unquote executive has ever been part of a christening ceremony, let alone introduce the godparent of the ship, who happened to be Mr. Eric Stonestreet, two-time Emmy Award winning, amazing actor, amazing person to spend time with. I was so very lucky. So many of you are saying, all right, John, great. You were there. You were on the inaugural cruise. What was your favorite part? Thank you for asking. A couple things come up. Number one, my bobblehead. At the time of his life, the bobblehead is living the dream. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, bobblehead was everywhere. I had a great time. That was number one. Number two was the new show about Prince called Revolution. Now, if you're like me and you grew up, and I like to think Prince's music crosses many generations, not just old people like me. But I was emotionally moved by this show. And it's a really incredible testament to the power of our entertainment team and what they can do. And so that was a thrill for me to see it in person. Highly recommend you go to the show. And actually, we remove all the seats in the lower level of the theater, and different stage elements come out, and you're actually in the theater. It's like you're at a concert. So if you got the energy, go down below and stand basically amongst the performers. So that was my second highlight. My third highlight was getting to meet Eric and spend time with him. We had a Q&A with him in the theater. It was supposed to be 20 minutes. He stayed almost for an hour with us. Just a really authentic human being. And we had a lot of fun. And the fact he took that time and he was walking the ship, talking to everybody, he was fantastic. And then part B of this is that I got to meet the Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup was backstage at the ceremony. Congratulations, by the way, to the Florida Panthers on their recent back-to-back victory, which is incredible. But why did I get to meet the Stanley Cup? Well, it's because Norwegian, if you did not know, is the official cruise line of the NHL. If you watched any of the hockey, you'll have seen NCL branding all over the arena and the ice when goals were scored, etc. So anyway, that was a thrill to meet the Stanley Cup. Okay, so if you're asking about going back to the Prince show, what is going on with NCL's entertainment? You know, we don't have some of those Broadway shows you may have been used to. Well, I got to tell you, there's a new strategy in place, and it's not about saving money. It's about listening to our guests, and it's about developing shows for them that we know they like and they want. And it's about everything from familiar material. Let me go to this next slide because it will help show that. Because what it's really talking about here is the new investment we're making, which is significant. Over this year and next, 112 new shows and experiences like the Prince show that we just talked about. And it's about recognizable music, about easy to follow stories, and about that spectacle, the visual. And it's the timing of it. It's not a 2.5-hour show. People don't want that. They want to get in and out, 45, 50 minutes, boom, you're done. And I got to tell you, over the last year, our ratings, going back to the guest satisfaction, prove that it's working. A really solid improvement in our entertainment scores has been seen. And so we are thrilled for that. So 112 new shows coming. 4 new shows there you can see from a production standpoint, and also that in the moment experience where these pop-up entertainment things are happening, the mini moments of more, as we call it. So we have listened to our guests because guests were not loving the Broadway shows. They like them, but they're loving these new entertainment options. And I got to tell you, I not even have a slide for this. We actually have a venue called Sid Norman's, which is a very small, like a pub experience. And we brought the show focused on the Fleetwood Mac album Rumors into the main theater. It was not built for the main theater. It was built for a tiny little club environment. And it's a every track played of the album by this incredible band, incredible singers, and they tell the story of the making of the album. I gotta say, next to the Prince show, it's one of the best things I've ever seen on a cruise ship, on any cruise ship. And so make sure you get to check that out in the theater. All right, moving on. True or false again? Sharpen those pencils. NCL has the largest variety of specialty restaurants in the cruise industry. That is absolutely true. We've got 20 specialty restaurants across the fleet. Now you're saying, well, John, you just cherry picked and you added a couple here from this ship, a couple here from that ship, and you put them all together and you got 20. Yeah, big deal. Well, let me just focus on one ship for you doubters out there. The Norwegian Aqua has 8 specialty restaurants. When I sailed on her little sister, the Prima, last summer, we were on for 11 days. It was hard to get to all of them. So that is a good problem to have, but to have to pick amongst these restaurants. And for those asking, I don't have a slide for this, but if you're wondering, what is my favorite restaurant of these? It's hard to pick. The fresh guacamole in Los Lobos can't be beat. Le Bistro for French food and the filet mignon in there is phenomenal, but I'm going to go with Palomar. The Mediterranean, the seafood there, it was really incredible. But also Anda and the fresh pasta, freshly made pasta, the pizza is to die for. You know what? All the above. I'm picking all the above. Okay, true or false? NCL doesn't invest in its current fleet of ships. We just build new ships and we don't care about the old ones. That is absolutely false. Proven here, just over the last year, these 6 ships have all gone through extensive upgrades, millions of dollars. I'm not allowed to give you the number, and quite honestly, I don't remember what it was, but it's tens of millions of dollars are spent on this throughout the year to make sure the ships that are not the newest still look fantastic. So we're thrilled to be upgrading those ships. Okay, if you're wondering, hey, John, which cruise line has the most departure ports in North America? And why is this important? Well, if you were to read the CLIA State of the Cruise Industry report from 2025, you will see that the trend in people driving to their vacation versus flying is real. And people prefer it if they can. Heck, if I could get in a car with my family and drive 5 or even 6 hours and not have to go to the airport, the money it saves you and the hassle it saves you, I would do that all day. Well, the good news to answer this question is Norwegian has the most number of departure ports across North America, 19 for your clients to drive to. And again, it's not just about an hour's drive. Some people will drive from Ohio down to New Orleans. Like that's a real thing. And the newer ports that you'll see there, we've got presence on the West Coast near where I live in San Diego. We've got new ports in Jacksonville and Philadelphia, which I understand is the city of brotherly love. And so we're going to be doing cruises out of Philly next year, going down to Bermuda, and we're thrilled to have some new port options for your clients to drive to. Okay, true or false? With a shift to sun and fun cruises, NCL doesn't go to Europe or Alaska anymore. It's all about sun and fun with Norwegian. That is false. When you look at the growth of our fleet and where we are putting our ships, if you compare last year, 24, to next year, 2026, there is a definite growth in fun and sun. Now, John, what is fun and sun? You're asking. Caribbean, Bahamas, Bermuda, and Hawaii is what we count. Now, Hawaii hasn't changed much. We have one ship there. But those other 3 have grown almost 30% in terms of the capacity we're putting in. But Europe and Alaska are pretty much flat. So we are definitely focused on Europe. We're definitely focused on Alaska. But fun and sun is a primary focus for us as well. And what we're doing is essentially putting our new capacity into those markets. I hope that makes sense. Which cruise line spends the most time in port in Europe? Speaking of Europe, I got to be honest with you. If the answer didn't favor Norwegian Cruise Line, I probably wouldn't put this slide up here, but I'm giving you a tip. It really does. So when you go to Europe, you go all the way to Europe, you fly all the way over there. The last thing you want to do is spend all your days at sea. And so when you look at the percent of cruise time import, our friendly competitors spend 70% of their time import on average across all of them in the contemporary and the premium segments. Norwegian spends 93% of our time import, which is a 32% improvement. So I will tell you this, going to Europe with Norwegian is an exhausting experience in a good way because every day almost you're in port and you really want to maximize that. And so I would definitely say, when it comes to the advantage of going to Europe, you cannot beat Norwegian. And it's about the time in port, it's about the way we deliver on it. But I would highly recommend, as the travel advisor for your clients, make sure to schedule pre and most definitely a post experience so they can get to experience whatever port they're sailing in or out of, whether it be London or Reykjavik or Barcelona or wherever. Get them that experience because they need to experience it more, pre or post, but also relax a little bit. Now, for those of you wondering, okay, who goes to Europe? What kind of clients are going to Europe? Here are some demographics and some stats we're happy to share. Baby boomers love it. Past and new guests for sure. Family travel is huge. It has been for some time and it continues to be. And the kids of today are so spoiled. My family travel when I was a kid was getting into the back of the Toyota Corolla my dad was rocking, driving 10 hours to go to the new port where his ship was going to be stationed, and maybe seeing some family along the way. Now kids are going on these incredible trips. And so from a marketing perspective, people that last, if you look on the bottom left there, the guest who previously sailed Europe, South America, Asia, Australia, Hawaii, etc., Alaska, are most likely to go to Europe. So what's interesting is the fact that Europe tends to lead to more Europe because people want to experience it again because there's so many itineraries. We're not going to do a deep dive on Europe today, but the number of itineraries, whether it be in Greek Isles or the Northern Europe like I talked about, the Med, I mean, you just can't beat it. So people want to experience more and more because they obviously understand the great value proposition of cruising to Europe with Norwegian. All right. True or false? Let's move on to a fun topic. Your clients don't need travel insurance or travel protection. True or false? I hope all of you are saying false. They absolutely need travel insurance. And especially in today's day and age, you never know with flight delays or what's going to happen. Absolutely make sure your clients have some protection. So I like to say, whether you buy Norwegian's Norwegian care policies or anybody, it doesn't matter to me personally, but I just want to encourage you to. Now, sales pitch for why you should sell Norwegian care, and I'll ask you the question. True or false, NCL doesn't pay commission on travel insurance. It's if you sell it, great. If not, no. We're going to get to the answer. I'm going to keep you on the edge of your seat for that one. But Norwegian Care, we actually just launched this new program. It's a much better version of what we had out before, and it's just better coverage. Simply put, please look into it. There's some great training and resources we have available for you. But the coverage cannot be beat when you compare it to any other cruise line, what they're offering, and many private policies. You really cannot beat it. So I highly encourage you to take advantage of it. So I asked you a question. I didn't give you the answer. I'm going to ask you another question. How much commission does a travel advisor earn selling Norwegian Care? Well, that tells me there's some commission at stake here. 10% actually used to be what we paid. We didn't think that was enough. So we're getting rid of it, and we've raised it up to 20%. So when you sell Norwegian Care for your clients, you get a 20% commission. And I'm not telling you to sell to your clients just because of the commission. Like I said before, sell them something, but just know you're going to get a bigger paycheck because of Norwegian Care. All right, let's move on to something a little more fun. Many of you are saying, hey, John, what's your favorite private island? Great question. Glad you asked. Slightly biased, I realize, but I got to say Great Stirrup Cay is my favorite. Now, you'll notice I said Great Stirrup Cay. What is the correct pronunciation? Is it K or Key? I was recently in the Bahamas. My taxi driver was from the Bahamas, born and raised in Nassau, actually. And he says, well, we pronounce it Key, but we should probably say K. And I said, you're not helping me, sir. How should I pronounce it? And he repeated the same answer. But because the locals say Key, that's what I say. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. Whatever is comfortable for you. But Great Stirrup Cay, I think, is an amazing private island, and it's going to get so much better. You can see some renderings there of this incredible pool, swim up bars, expanded loungers, like you just can't, cabanas, you just can't beat it. There's so many more new updates coming, and I think in about a month's time, we're going to be announcing them. So please do stay tuned. But just know, and I didn't even mention the one thing that you're all maybe thinking, because I have been talking about that for a while, is about what is potentially the answer to this question. If you say, John, what's your favorite part of Great Stirrup Cay? You might think it's the new pier that's being built. It's going to be built in just a few months' time because, as you may know, there isn't a pier today, and that means we tender, which takes some time and a little bit inconvenient, even though the operation is pretty slick with bigger boats doing it. Sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate, and we can't make a call to Great Stirrup Cay. So you cancel what is one of our highest rated port experiences in the Caribbean and the Bahamas. And so the fact that we have this pier coming is pretty special. But that is not the answer to my question, or not the answer to the question of what is my favorite part. My favorite part is twofold. Number one, we've got the incredible unlimited open bar, which is part of More at Sea. So when you're on the ship, almost all the premium drinks you could ever ask for are included in this program. They're fantastic. But it now, or it does, and it does not now, it already extends to Great Stirrup Cay. So you can go off the ship, have that daiquiri, have that margarita, have whatever you want to drink on the island. The program extends there, so you don't have to worry about paying for it when you're on the island. The second part is Silver Cove. So this is basically the haven on a private island. This is incredible. You have your private beach area, air-conditioned villas, 2-bedroom suites in some cases, full bath. You got your private patio. You get up to 8 people, depending on which one you get. There's a spa opportunity that's nearby. You've got the infinity pool that was just built. Private restaurant. I mean, it is really fantastic. So I really want you to take advantage of that and talk to your clients about making sure they maximize their stay at Great Stirrup Cay. And if they can afford it, please take advantage of Silver Cove. All right. Which cruise line has the best military appreciation program in the industry? Now, I'm a little biased. My dad was in the U.S. Navy, as many of you know. He retired as the captain of the battleship Missouri. He is now laying at rest at Arlington National Cemetery. If you're ever there, please do pay him a visit. But so I'm a little biased when I focus on this, in the sense that it means a lot to me when I am can proudly answer that question by saying Norwegian absolutely has the best military appreciation program in the business. And it's not just about the discount. They get a 10% off cruise fare. It's about the recognition on board, the ceremony that's held. I was able to attend one last year, and it was fantastic. It's a really cool experience. And for your clients who have served the U.S. or Canadian military, active duty or retired, please get them registered using the ID Me. Go onto our website. Just search for that. We'll get them once they're registered. They're in the system. It always applies. They get that 10% off discount. But wait, there's more. We're actually providing right now a 35% discount for any Alaska and Europe sailings this year through September 30th. So if you have clients that are thinking about going to either Europe or Alaska and they're registered in the Military Appreciation Program, they get a 35% discount. So it was my idea. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't, but I'm very proud to talk about it. We also, speaking of discounts, and this is for you, the travel advisor community, we have opportunities for a 50% off limited time offer. This was entirely it wasn't my idea, but I'm taking credit anyway. This is an NCLU program. So if you're part of that, the training, which you should be, because then you get all the training you could ever ask for, you get a reduced rate booking there. You get to see the code there on the bottom, and it's our way of saying thank you. And you get to experience Alaska and Europe at a pretty good rate. So please do take advantage. All right. I told you I wasn't going to take an hour, and I meant it, because who wants to hear me talk for an hour? I don't. I can tell you that much. I have talked a bunch. So, John, let's wrap this up. What excites me the most about NCL's future? Well, Great Stirrup Cay, for sure. Really excited. And oh, man, you should wait. Next month, you will get to see the plans that we haven't even talked about yet. Not just the big pool, not just the pier. Some really exciting elements. That is, the Great Stirrup Cay, did you know, is the largest private island in the Caribbean or the Bahamas of any cruise line. That's the most real estate. And we just haven't taken advantage of the space, and we are coming very soon. So that would be my number one thing I'm excited about. Number two is the sister to Aqua, which is the Luna, coming out next spring. Can't wait to deliver her to the family. I'm also really excited about our continued focus on being the easiest cruise line to work with. I like to say it's so important we even have a logo. And if we didn't have a logo, we wouldn't really mean it. We do mean it, and we we have taken some great action over the last couple of years that I've been part of Team NCL. And every year we do a survey, and it's about to go out to both frontline advisors and agency owners or managers or executives. And so they're different questions because you guys have different perspectives on life. The frontline advisors actually work, and the other guys just take credit. So kind of like my job. But because this is so important, we do this annual survey. Last year, I think we had 8,000 frontline advisors answer the survey. And from that, we extrapolate into grades. And to make it simple, like what's your report card in school? It's fantastic to get that feedback, quantify it with so many people. And here was our rankings over the last couple of years. In 2023, soon after I started, we did the survey, and we were C students, maybe even C minus. There were some things we needed to do. We took action. We fixed a bunch of things. Some of it's technology driven, which takes longer, like the booking engine. Last year, we were B students, so we made progress. That's good. This year, we will see. Survey's about to go out, so within a month or two, I should have the results. But we are thrilled to at least be able to measure our success and take such great focus on being easy. Shameless plug, if you're not already following us on the Facebook, this is the QR code to Partners First. Please do, because in there's a ton of communication. We're communicating about our dedicated webinars, the John Cast, as it's called. I did not come up with that name. I am a narcissist, but I didn't even come up with that. The team did, so I'm all in for it. But it's that content that is there and all the information and news, so please do take advantage. I want to wrap this presentation up by saying, on behalf of my favorite son, Murphy, thank you so much. But more importantly, on behalf of the entire sales team, the best sales team in the industry at Norwegian Cruise Line. And yes, Murphy's in the bottom right there, along with my bobblehead. We say thank you. Going back to the beginning, we're going to close it with thanks, just like we started. Appreciate you all so very much. Okay, with that, let's see what questions we might have. Everybody's clapping because you just got a half an hour of your life back. Because I'm not taking the full hour. I'm looking through. Grace, I'm not sure what code you missed. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what that was. Let me think about it. I can go back to that other slide. Yes, Antoinette, you asked about teachers. I didn't even mention it. You know, shame on me. We have a great teacher discount as well. It's not as robust as the military appreciation program. But the teachers, we are giving the 5% discount for current teachers. For retired teachers, we don't have a way to validate it, so we don't unfortunately extend it to retired teachers. But for current teachers, they do get a 5% discount. Christina, I love it. She says, I believe that I may have found my travel advisor cruise niche. Well, thank you, Christina. I love that. Appreciate you. Definitely agree, Sheila. GSC, can't wait. Now, Sandra's asking about the timeline for the pools to be ready. Have you ever built something in the Bahamas? Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. But my understanding, Sandra, first of all, I'm going to believe it when I see it. But my understanding is that either, I'm going to say around November of this year. I don't know that we have a firm date that we've communicated just now, but that was the general target that we have. Mary Ann's asking, can they get a recording? I think that was answered. Cool. All right. Good to hear, Jill. Clients on the Aqua right now. I got a bunch of weird comments in there, which are awesome. Okay, great. I'm trying to sift through some of these weird comments. Always fun with that. Oy vey. Okay. Jill's having problems with NCL help. I'm not sure what's going on there. We'd like to think NCL help is perfect, Jill, but you know, sometimes it's not. If you know your BDM, reach out to them. If not, trying to think of the best way for you to contact us. If you're not part of Partners First, you can ping us on there and we'll get back to you. But I hope you know who your BDM is. Okay, Mary's asking a great question on Europe 2027 cruises. So we are going to be announcing those in about a month's time. At the end of July, we're going to have our 2027 product schedule launch. So stand by for that, okay? Let me go back to the top, make sure, or the most recent one. Yeah, if you go on to, do you guys know about Norwegian Central? I really hope you do. You can actually find your BDM there. You log in there and you can locate who your BDM is. Troy, we should make a note for the next webinar to include the details of that because I do get that every time, every now and again. But I definitely think that's easy for you to go into Norwegian Central and do your BDM locator, and off you go. Let's see. Yeah, Antoinette. Well, Gina is taking care of the headquarter relations for IntelliTravel, but I'm not sure if that's what you're asking. But we can definitely get you connected as needed. Okay, I think that's it. Joanna, what do you think? Are we good to wrap here? I can't find a
Yeah,
ton of other
John,
questions.
it looks like you've got a bunch of just good compliments, lots of hand claps and hearts. Great presentation as always, and thank you for your time. And everyone enjoy your 24 minutes back.
Thank you all. Appreciate you very much. Take care, and we'll see you very soon. Bye bye.